Likewise, knowing the months in Islam. We have two categories, as mentioned earlier. We have Al-Ashhur Al-Huram, the sacred holy months, and we also have Ashhur Al-Hajj, the months of Hajj. And as I said before, the sacred months are the month of Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram. 3 follow each other, and 1 is separate, which is Rajab. The months of Hajj are Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, and Dhul Hijjah. And we will find that the month of Dhul Hijjah is a common denominator between both, which indicates how important this month is. Now, we are talking about the first 10 days and nights of the month of Dhul Hijjah. And the month of Dhul Hijjah is the 12th month of the year, which is the last month of the lunar and Islamic year. And it is so great, this month. And these specifically 10 days are so great that Allah Azza wa Jal has sworn with it by saying in the Holy Qur'an, by the dawn and by the 10 nights. Ibn Abbas and Abdullah ibn Zubair, may Allah be pleased with them all, and the majority of commentators on the Qur'an, the Mufassirin, they all say that these 10 nights are the nights and the days of the beginning of Dhul Hijjah. And if you go on, you will find that the Prophet ﷺ stated that, and he stated that the best 10 days of the whole world are the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And the Prophet said also in an authentic hadith that there are no days in which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah than these 10 days. So the people around the Prophet ﷺ said, O Prophet of Allah, not even jihad for the sake of Allah? Is that possible, that these deeds in these 10 days are so beloved to Allah more than jihad itself? So the Prophet said ﷺ, not even jihad for the sake of Allah, except in the case of a man who went out to fight, giving himself and his wealth up for the cause, and came back with nothing, which means that he died at the side of Allah, at the cause of Allah, and he lost his life and he lost his wealth. This man, this action of his is more precious and beloved to Allah than the good deeds in the last or in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So why are these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah so important, so valuable? Why are they beloved to Allah the Almighty? Scholars say that most probably and most likely that is because there are so many good deeds that cannot be combined except in these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Such as prayer. Well, I can pray throughout the whole year. Such as charity. I can pray and I can also give money to the poor. Such as fasting. Well, this happens even in Ramadan and elsewhere. I can fast, I can pray, and I can give money to the poor. But Hajj cannot be except in these 10 days. And that is why it's a combination of good deeds that cannot be performed except in these first 10 days. And that brings up a question. If someone asks us and says, okay, you talk so highly about the first 10 days of the Hijjah, but we also have the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So which is more valuable and loved to Allah the Almighty? Scholars have their different opinion. The majority say the first 10 days of the Hijjah because of the crystal clear hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and that they are the best 10 days in the whole world. Others say, well, no, the last 10 nights of Ramadan include one night that is Laylatul Qadr, and it is better than 1,000 nights. So the worshipping Allah in this particular night is equivalent to worshipping Allah in 1,000 months. خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. And this is out of proportion. It's out of our mind. It blows our minds away. Other scholars took a middle way by saying the daytime of the first 10 days of the Hijjah is better than the daytime of the last 10 days of Ramadan. However, the nighttime of the last 10 nights of Ramadan is better than the nighttime of the first 10 nights of the Hijjah. And whatever the conclusion is, we have to point out a very important issue, and that is 99% or even more of Muslims neglect these first 10 days of the Hijjah. They focus throughout the year all of their worship, all of their zeal, all of their power to pray, worship, and get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, hoping that they would be successful in praying Laylatul Qadr. But when it comes to the first 10 days of the Hijjah, almost 99% of people neglect it. They ignore them as if they do not exist. And why is that? The answer is very simple. It's ignorance. People do not have the proper knowledge. They do not know which is which. And that is why we will try to focus on the good deeds, and we will try to encourage you. Of course, I'll try to encourage myself to offer as many good deeds as possible in these first 10 days. And inshallah, with the grace of Allah, if we're successful in doing this, we will get closer to Allah. Especially if you just compare apple to apple. Especially when you hear that the Prophet tells us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the first 10 days of the Hijjah, no one would offer any good deeds in them that would be beloved to Allah than anything else. Whatever you do, you have to focus on utilizing your time, your effort on this beloved 10 days to Allah. With this we come to the conclusion of today's program. So until we meet next time, fi amanillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.